And there is a concern in the region as well that Russian influence and Russia's hand in Serbia could in turn destabilize Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and other countries in the region, Bosnia and Herzegovina. How realistic do you think this scenario is? How much of a threat is Russian influence to security in the region?
You know, the Russians have long sought to arrest the integration of the Western Balkans into Europe and Atlantic institutions. And whether it is the name issue between North Macedonia and Greece, Montenegro's accession to NATO, the viability of Bosnia and Herzegovina, intelligence operations in Serbia, Serbia's relations with Kosovo, you can find Russia's fingerprints as a spoiler. I do think that the trajectory is one in which Russia is losing its foothold. And that's in part because some of those cleavages that the Russians sought to exploit have gone away. The Russians failed to block Montenegro's accession to NATO. The Russians failed to prevent Greece and North Macedonia from arriving at an agreement on the name issue. And so I think little by little, Russian influence is waning. And I think the Russian invasion of Ukraine expedites that. Because even a country like Serbia that may not come out and side with Ukraine clearly and side with the West and impose sanctions, they see the same pictures that we see. They see a Russia that has carried out a bold act of aggression against its neighbors. So in many respects, I think what we're witnessing here is the last gasp of Russia's effort to prevent the Western Balkans from integrating into the West. It's not over yet, but I think that we will, over time, see a Russia that is effectively excluded from the region.
So from what I'm hearing, overall, you are optimistic that things are going to get better and that risks in the region are going to diminish.
Yes, and also I think one has to simply look at how full Russia's plate is. Right? The war in Ukraine is a huge drain on Russian resources and political capital. You then have to say, well, where else is Russia going to concentrate efforts? And I think the answer is, well, the Caucasus, Central Asia. They'll try to continue to keep a hand in Syria and Africa through Wagner. But because of proximity, because of distance, because of where the Western Balkans are, I don't think there's going to be a lot of energy and attention left over for that part of Europe. And so to the degree that the Russians are able to continue to play the role of spoiler, I think it will end up being in places closer to home, in particular the Caucasus and Central Asia, simply because it's easier to do it there than it is in the Western Balkans.
Charles, thank you very much for your time.